Who brought the cultural destruction of the Hawaiian people? The destruction of native Hawaiian culture did not happen all at once, nor was it the work of a single group. Rather, it was a layered process driven by foreign contact, religious influence, political domination, and economic exploitation. Each wave of newcomers imposed their own values and systems, gradually eroding the indigenous framework of Hawaiian life. 1. Early Western explorers and traders, 1778 onward. The first major rupture began with Captain James Cook's arrival in 1778. Diseases. Cook and subsequent Western sailors introduced smallpox, measles, influenza, and venereal diseases. Hawaiians, having no immunity, suffered massive depopulation. By some estimates, the native population dropped from 300,000–400,000 in the late 18th century to less than 40,000 by the late 19th century. Material goods and weapons. Trade brought metal tools, firearms, and ships, which disrupted traditional balances of power between alii, chiefs. This intensified wars and centralized authority under powerful rulers like Kamehameha Wai'ula's lifestyle disruption. Western goods shifted values from subsistence and communal sharing to accumulation and dependency on foreign trade. Impact. These explorers and traders introduced the first cracks into the cultural foundation of Hawaiian life. 2. Missionaries, 1820 onward. The American Protestant missionaries, arriving in 1820, had perhaps the most lasting cultural impact. Religion. They denounced Hawaiian spiritual traditions, calling them heathen. Sacred practices, chants and rituals tied to gods like Kane, Ku, Lono, and Pele were suppressed. Kapu system abolished. Even before their arrival, Queen Kaahumanu had abolished the kapu system, traditional laws, but missionaries quickly filled the void with Christianity, cementing Western religious dominance. Language and literacy. Missionaries developed a written Hawaiian alphabet and encouraged literacy, which was a positive legacy. But soon, English was forced in schools, and by the late 19th century, the Hawaiian language was banned in public education. Clothing and gender norms. Traditional attire was replaced with Western-style dress, modesty codes, and Victorian morality. Impact. Missionaries dismantled traditional religion and customs, replacing them with Christian values and Western norms. 3. Western businessmen and plantation owners. As sugar and pineapple industries expanded in the 19th century, American and European businessmen brought a new economic order. Land alienation. The 1848 Mahele Land Division privatized communal land. Most Hawaiians, unfamiliar with private ownership concepts and unable to afford fees, lost their land. Businessmen, however, acquired massive estates. Labor system. Native Hawaiians, decimated by disease and displaced from their lands, became a marginalized workforce. Laborers were imported from China, Japan, the Philippines, and Portugal, further displacing native Hawaiians economically and culturally. Cultural assimilation. The plantation economy prioritized English, capitalism, and Western legal structures, suppressing native practices of collective responsibility, aloha, aina, malama, aina. Impact. Business interests severed Hawaiians from their land, the spiritual and cultural heart of their identity. 4. U.S. political influence and overthrow, 1893. The U.S. government and settlers finalized the cultural destruction through political control. Overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom. In 1893, American businessmen backed by U.S. Marines overthrew Queen Liliuokalani. This ended native sovereignty and stripped Hawaiians of political power. Annexation, 1898. The U.S. annexed Hawaii without the consent of its people, incorporating it into a Western nation-state. Language ban, 1896. English became the mandatory language in schools. Hawaiian language, chants, and oral traditions were forbidden in public life. Impact. Political colonization completed the cultural dispossession begun by missionaries and businessmen. 5. Military and tourism, 20th century. Military presence. Hawaii became a strategic U.S. military outpost. Native lands were seized for bases, restricting access to sacred places. Tourism industry. Hawaiian culture was commodified. Hula, leis, and aloha were repackaged for visitors, often stripped of spiritual meaning. Impact. These forces perpetuated cultural distortion, turning sacred practices into entertainment. Conclusion. The cultural destruction of the Hawaiian people was a multi-phased colonization. 1. Explorers and traders introduced disease and destabilized society. 2. Missionaries eradicated religion and imposed Western morality. 3. Businessmen took the land and reshaped the economy. 4. The U.S. government destroyed political sovereignty. 5. Military and tourism industries commodified and militarized Hawaiian identity. While native Hawaiians today are reviving language, hula, navigation, Polynesian wayfinding, and sovereignty movements, the scars of cultural destruction remain. The loss was not caused by one group alone, but by the layered forces of colonialism, capitalism, and cultural suppression imposed mainly by Western outsiders.